This video is brought to you by my patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your generous support in funding this channel and keeping it up and running. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of GAVONY Township, the show where it's not about me and my decks, no. It is about you and your decks. Whether you're a patron of mine at patreon.com/magicalhacker, someone who has won one of my riddle giveaways on Facebook or Twitter, or like today, if you are a content creator that I'm collaborating with. So give a warm welcome to Brett from KitchenTableCommander.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
So some of you might know Brett. Brett's an awesome Commander player as well. He does streaming on Twitch. He does videos on YouTube. And so today I'm playing his Evra deck, Evra Halcyon Witness, and I'm hoping to do a little bit better than in that last game. We had a game where two opponents conceded out of nowhere, and so this game hopefully should be a little bit better than that. I'm hoping, at least.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. I don't know what happened there, but it's just like people were not happy with the outcome of their draws or something. I don't even
know. They had meatloaf burning. We were talking about meatloaf. I don't know.
Yeah.
But right now, in this opening hand, we've got 4 lands. Again, the Rogue's Passage and a Mage Ring Network. The 3 non-lands we've got are Cathar's Crusade, which is a 5-drop, Glory, another 5-drop, and then Armored Ascension, which is 4 mana. I feel like, again, this one is kind of a no-action hand, so I'm feeling like mulliganing it. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I would probably do the same thing.
So let's go ahead and mulligan that and see what we get after this. Alright, so now I've drawn 4 planes, Ethereal Armor, Trailblazer's Boots, and Tamiyo's Journal. What do you think about this one?
Oh. Like, Trailblazer's Boots is nice. Tamiyo's Journal is nice.
Ethereal Armor is nice later on.
Yeah, it's definitely good later on, but, like, right now it's not super great. How many lands do you say you have?
4 planes.
Ugh. And no creatures.
Yeah, no creatures, but I'm actually okay with this one just because I have a feeling we'll draw into more stuff. But even then, if we don't draw into action, we're going to draw into another land. And that means we can get Tamiyo's Journal down on turn 5.
Yeah, let's do that then. We can take that risk.
I feel like this as a 7-card hand is probably going to be better than the majority of 6-card hands. I know there are going to be some that are going to be really, really good. But
actually, you know what? Looking at the commanders that are here, I think we got time. So I think we're good.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of cards with the exact same type of mana cost. 2 generic and then 1 of each of the 3 colors.
Yeah.
Talk about a weird arrangement of commanders.
Yeah, every commander is a 6-drop.
5-drop. Ours is a 6-drop.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, ours is a 6-drop. Sorry, my bad. I got my math wrong.
It's okay.
As usual.
Is that classic for your channel?
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, I got just enough to kill. Nope, I don't.
Oh, so you're saying your audience can count on you not being able to count?
Yeah, 100%. But math is for blockers.
I hate that saying. I hate it because it's the exact opposite of what's the truth. Math is only for attackers.
Yeah, realistically, math is for both sides, and you really have to think about it because, like, if you don't do the math right as an attacker, someone could easily block and prevent lethal,
and then kill you on the backswing.
And then kill you on the backswing. Or if you're in a blocking situation, if you don't do the math right, you could lose, but you might have a way out if you do it right.
Yeah.
So it's not just for blockers. It's for everybody. Do your math, people.
It's for the attacker, it's for the blocker, and it's even for the other players too, because sometimes you're like, hold on, they don't block that thing. Now my combat trick in hand can kill them. I want them dead.
Exactly.
And then you can kind of use that to your advantage. We drew first turn into Thalia, Heretic Cathar, and then we just now drew into Orm's Chant. I think I'm going to go ahead and get down those boots, the Trailblazer's boots.
Yup.
I heard they were made for... well, what's the thing they're made for? They're made for walking.
Yes, they're 100% made for walking. If you don't watch out, they will walk over you.
Especially with non-basic lands out. We already have 2 opponents that have non-basic lands out. We're just waiting for Rock On Ninja to get theirs out too.
We'll find out. I mean, they have 3 3 colors in their commander's casting cost, so
I'm sure they're gonna have plenty.
Chance.
Yeah,
there's a good chance.
They're gonna have to, right? They just have to.
Yeah. Well, like, and that's the main reason that Trailblazers Boots is in there, because like it's not a game of Commander if someone's not playing a non-basic somewhere.
Yeah, and actually, you know, I've seen one time, if I remember correctly, there was a game where somebody had a Trailblazers Boots, and I had, believe it or not, Ruination in the deck. And
you don't say.
After I used that Ruination, suddenly Trailblazers Boots was offline. It was kind of funny. Well, this is a reference to an Atali game that Brett has played. So if you haven't yet seen the video, there's going to be a link down in the description. And actually, no, let's do it as the pinned comment. Pinned comment with a link to the video on Brett's channel where he plays my Atali deck. And yes, I know Atali's got Ruination in there. I'm hoping your audience is actually kind of cool with that, since it is mono red, you know.
Yeah, they'll be fine with it.
Oh, okay.
My audience is pretty forgiving. They have to deal with me, remember?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's that's a pretty good point. Next turn, I feel like the Thalia is great to get down this turn.
Yeah, the earlier the better.
We drew into a Gorgon's Flail, but I think Thalia makes the most sense here.
Yeah,
After
Gorgon's
that,
Flail we can wait until later.
We actually probably want to play that next turn and get that onto Thalia. First strike and Death Touch, please and thank you.
Yeah, and then once we get Evra, we just switch it over.
Yeah,
because we want to keep Evra as like we want to make sure that Evra is protected.
Yes,
at all costs.
Yes, I could definitely see that. Also, Trailblazers Boots now is online if we equip it onto Evra because of that Arcane Sanctum from Rock on Ninja.
Yeah.
So I think right now
this is good.
Yeah, we're in a pretty good spot here. I think next turn the Gorgon Flail means that we don't have to worry about attacks for a while. We can kind of take our time. The turn after that, we can go for that Tamio's Journal. I think this is a great curve here.
Oh, they got a propaganda out now.
Yeah, that might be a little bit.
I mean, it just means we're going to pay 2 to kill them. So.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. That's one way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have 6 mana by that point anyway. So.
Yep.
4 to switch, 2 to kill. We're good.
Yeah, and you know what? We might even do this. Go for the Trailblazers Boots first. Kill somebody else. Like, for example, that Yarok player.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, because Yarok is going to start getting ridiculous once they really get that online.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at our commander is Evra. I mean, we're playing mono white. Everybody else is playing 3 colors. But Evra is kind of a cool commander. It's a 6-drop legendary 4/4 avatar with lifelink that you can pay for mana to exchange your life total with Evra Halcyon's power. So, not a bad card at all.
No, the fact that it's an instant speed ability is pretty awesome, because every time you attack, someone's going to have to be like, okay, do they have the mana to do the change? Are they going to switch it? Do we want to bother blocking?
Exactly. And so I'm really excited to play this deck. This deck looks really sweet. Again, this is Brett's deck that I'm playing, and he's here to help me make sure that I don't make too many punts. He's a lot better at playing Magic than I am, so that's going to be a huge help for me.
I would never say that. I am.
That's why I'm saying it, so you don't have to.
Fair. All right. I like that. I can live with that. No, I'm always trying to improve. I'm not a professional Magic player. I don't go to the Pro Tour, or I don't even play in any of the main events at Magic Fest, just because I know I wouldn't do well in those.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like the ones who benefit the most from that are your opponents. They get to be lucky. They don't have to play against you.
Exactly.
Whoa. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I meant it the other way. Well, anyways, let's talk about our opponents and their commanders. Rock on Ninja is our first opponent. They're playing Ertai the Corrupted. Not unlike the video file. Well, actually, I should mention that. Never mind. Ertai the Corrupted. 5 mana for a legendary 3/4 human wizard that has 1 ability. You can pay a blue and tap it and sacrifice either a creature or enchantment to counter target spell. Currently, we're seeing a good number of enchantments, so I have a feeling this is Esper Enchantress. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Currently, we've got Propaganda, and if that wasn't enough, I mean, there's Sigil of the Empty Throne, which triggers off of casting enchantment spells. Oof. They've got to be playing a good number of enchantments. in order to even play
got,
this card.
I mean, they got Karmic Justice, Propaganda, and Sigil of the Empty Throne right now. So I mean,
that could spell doom for us pretty quick if they decide to swing those angels at us.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll get there before they get to us.
Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls destroys a non-creature permanent you control, that may destroy target permanent that opponent controls. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we draw into Danitha Capuchin.
Ooh, all right. That is good.
I actually feel like in this situation, we can go ahead and attack over at iStock. They could block with that Elvish Visionary.
They could.
That's one less creature for us to worry about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think...
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because that way we attack with there, and then we... oh, actually, there's a Vivian out there. Hold on a second. Let's attack the Vivian. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I didn't even see that. I feel like that makes a lot more sense here. It's also at 2 loyalty, so we want to get rid of that pretty soon.
Yeah.
Them casting creatures with flash is actually kind of a big deal. So
yeah, I agree.
They let it go to the graveyard, though, thankfully. And then now here in the second main phase, we can play down Danitha and then move over that Gorgon Flail since it costs 1 less to do it. Oh, I'm sorry. I did this all backwards.
That's okay. Yeah, it's just the it's not the equip cost. It's the actual like initial cost.
Casting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that's not going to be too bad for us. I chose not to play the Ethereal Armor just because I feel like that's probably better on Evra, right?
Yeah. No, it's definitely better on Evra.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So my idea here was attacking with our First Strike Death Toucher so that we can just move it over to another First Strike Death Toucher.
Yeah.
I didn't really think that went all the way through though, unfortunately.
No, that's fine.
So now though we can move the Gorgon's Flail next turn, and it's got Vigilance and Lifelink, so we can start gaining some life as well.
Exactly.
All right, Mirror Maid is going to enter the battlefield. They can target something here. What do you think they'd pick?
Oh, geez.
Looks like Sigil of the Empty Throne is going to be their choice here. So now they're creating 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
All right, Aura of Silence. Yeah. Okay, well, now they've got 3 angels ready on the untap. I think we might be teaming up with our opponents to try to take out this Ertai player. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I think that's a great idea. That is going to get out of hand real quick.
Yeah, there's that Propaganda already out there, plus they're making 2 tokens every time they cast an enchantment, and they've also got Aura of Silence.
Flying tokens, too. That's
not just your... white weenies. They're
not like 1/1 humans. We're talking 4/4 flying angels. This is
big and beefy angels.
Yup.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that opponents can decide for themselves that they're afraid of Rock on Ninja. Otherwise, I'm just gonna write something here in chat to make them kind of point in that direction. Dang.
Yeah.
8 power from each enchantment.
Yeah.
All right, Royal Elemental is going to enter the battlefield. I don't know, what would they want to steal here with the Royal Elemental? Maybe the Angels?
Yeah, maybe the Angels, maybe the Propaganda.
I think that can only take creatures though, right? Oh, it is. Yeah, it can only take creatures.
Oh, okay.
And they can choose anything they want here. Like, if I were them, I'd pick the Angel, but let's see what they actually go for.
It's only 1 Angel, though, they can take. That's going to be...
They're going to take our Thalia instead.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. It's a little strange.
Well, I mean, it's now going to work for them as opposed to us. Mm-hmm. So it means all of their opponents' stuff are coming in.
It doesn't change anything for the Epic Panda or Rock on Ninja. But
no, it doesn't change anything for them, but it basically means that all of iStock stuff comes in untapped now, and all of our stuff comes in tapped.
Yeah.
So not great.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Luckily, we can move over that Gorgon Flail, deal some damage while we still have the option. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about iStock, who they're playing as their commander. We already talked about it a little bit here, but it's going to be Yarok the Desecrated, 5 mana for a legendary 3/5 elemental horror with Death Touch and Lifelink that says, if a permanent, any permanent, land, enchantment, creature, doesn't matter, entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent, again, any permanent at all, lands or non-lands, that ability triggers an additional time. So usually I've seen Yarok being built as like a flicker deck where you've got ETB creatures that are, getting flickered or, dying, going to the graveyard and then coming back over and over. And I've also seen it halfway done where it's a landfall based deck where you have lands entering the battlefield, triggering your landfall permanents like this Royal Elemental, for example.
Yeah, I feel like the majority of times I've seen this deck, it's Graveyard Matters.
All right. Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to be doing some of that as well. We did see the Epic Panda get down Jiang-Yangu Wildcrafter.
Yeah.
So again,
Each creature you control with a +1/+1 on it has add 1 mana of any color, and then you can -1 to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So they've already ticked it down once to put a +1/+1 on Rock Slide Elemental, so now they can make 1 mana of any color. I'm wondering if we're going to see Sek'kuar next turn, maybe?
I have a feeling we will. I mean, they might have done that just to get that 5th mana, because this is now our turn 6. So they had 5. They had 5 mana last turn. Or they could have had 5 mana if they had the 5th land. Let's go ahead and do this. We drew into the land. I feel like I want to play the Tamio's Journal just to get some extra card draw. We could go for Dictate of Erebos. We could go for the Gorgonflail move, but I feel like the Tamio's Journal is just going to make the most sense. What do you think?
I think you're right. Getting us that extra, like getting us the
clue tokens.
The clue tokens and the card draw, I think will probably be helpful.
I agree. But it costs 2 extra because of the Aura of Silence. Okay, that's rough. Yeah,
right.
Same thing with the Dictate of Erebos as well.
Damn you, Rock On Ninja.
Yeah, they're really hurting us here. I say let's just do this. Let's tap to move over the Gorgonflail and then attack them for 3 lifelink, and then we'll also have to pay the 2 mana for the Propaganda.
Yeah.
Not a big turn here, but at least it's something.
It's something. It's a start at least. But yeah, we'll get like 3 life back, and we'll kind of like maybe point the finger at the appropriate threat for the team to go after. Yeah,
I feel like you got to put your money where your mouth is. You can't just talk about somebody being a big threat and then not do anything against them. They gotta see that you really, really mean business. So instead of attacking over the Jiang-Yangu, we're going to attack over the person with this amazing board state, which in a way is not that amazing if it leads to our opponents attacking them with a bunch of creatures.
Yeah.
So let's see if that's what actually happens. After this... go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say Ice Stock seems pretty good to your comment about the 8 power. So I'm not sure if they're fully on board with the whole, like, they're the threat sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I think they're just trying to get value, and they're not really worried about attacking. And so because of that, they're
in their own little world.
Yeah. I feel like whenever you're playing a game of Commander, you've got to start off with the understanding that you have to expect your opponents to do the craziest thing, because if you expect them to do something else that's worse, then when they do play something better, you're going to feel really bad. But if you're expecting them to do the best thing, and then they do something worse, you'll be like, well, it's not what I planned for, but it is technically worse for them.
Yeah, so it's better for us.
Exactly. Although there is something to be said about thinking about your opponents. You're trying to play to your out, right? If the only way you could win is if they do something bad, then you got to play to that out.
Yeah. So they dropped a Conqueror's Galleon. That's interesting.
Yeah, this is a card that I've wanted to like for a long time. I haven't really loved it all that much. It is in my Karn deck, but it hasn't done a whole lot for me.
Like, you really got to be dedicated to this one, because you got to crew for 4, and then you got to like attack and survive. I mean, it's got 10 toughness, so it's not that hard, but like.
But with only 2 power, an opponent can just block with a bunch of things and then kill it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're down to 39. The Epic Panda loses their commander, their planeswalker, Jiang-Yangu. Their commander, they haven't actually even played it yet, and that is Sek'kuar Deathkeeper. 5 mana for a legendary 4/3 Orc Shaman that says whenever another non-token creature you control dies, create a 3/1 black and red Graveborn creature token with haste. So what have you seen Sek'kuar being? I've only seen it be like an aristocrats-based deck, but what about you?
I don't know if I've ever played against a Sek'kuar deck. But yeah, it just seems like an aristocrat's play style to me, where it's just you're just constantly creating these 3/1s and just want them to die.
Especially if you're playing in the deck mostly non-tokens that either recur themselves or get recurred by other spells in your deck.
Yeah, you just want like 1/1s and 2/2s and whatever, just like kill stuff off to make these 3/1s just attack with them, just massive board states. That would be my guess.
All right, so now the 2 Royal Elemental abilities from the Yarok doubling it is going to take both of those angels. I feel like this is fine for us. We still have Orim's Chant in the hand. I feel like this is much better for stopping an attack that's going to kill us at the upkeep. So we can kind of get both of those. Not so much being used to stop attacks, more so to do both of the abilities.
Yeah.
And I got some sweet art. I don't know if this is the same art that you have, but I've got like this promo version. Yeah, it looks really awesome. I haven't seen this before. All right, so they're going to take those 2 angels. This means that they could attack with a good number of creatures. They only have 3 mana, though. So unless they've got another way to make mana, they can only really attack with 1 creature here.
Yeah.
Probably going to be a 3/2 flyer. Or maybe even our Thalia for some reason. Who knows?
Maybe.
Rock on Ninja says prime removal target confirmed. So they definitely want to get rid of that. At least the Royal Elemental. I don't think they're going to be super interested in getting rid of iStock completely, but they could be.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Either that or they're confirming our suspicion that they are the threat. It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
They might be like, come at me, bros.
Maybe. I think right now, once that the Aura of Silence is used, once that's out of here, we can start doing stuff like the Dictate of Heliod to make creatures that we control a little bit bigger and able to do more damage. Yeah,
I would agree.
Honestly, though, I think Rock on Ninja and iStock are both at the point where they're both kind of the scariest at the table. They're both in number 1 slot.
Yeah, it's. I'd say that Rock on Ninja has a bit more backing, but like at the same time, iStock's just taking our Daneth the Capuchin. So I'm switching my thought. It's entirely iStock.
Yeah. This is rough. Now they can attack us with everything because they're not going to be attacking Rock on Ninja with anything from that propaganda.
No.
And they're probably not that afraid of the Epic Panda. Although I guess they could technically be.
I mean, they've got a 2/2. I don't know how much they're going to be worried about them just at the moment, but I mean, down the road, if they can get Sek'kuar online and do whatever needs to happen there, then maybe.
Yeah.
But like we just saw, the Jiang Yang Gu is gone now, so they can't make the extra mana they need to get Sek'kuar out. So I think the Epic Panda is kind of floundering at the moment.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they get back in this game in a better sense of the word, because we could use some help here. We really could.
Oh yeah.
They could have a board wipe though. I mean, aristocrats decks. They're true. Okay playing board wipes because they're just going to recur everything back. iStock here is saying some big words. Go big or go home.
I mean, they're both like they're goading each other. Really, is what's happening.
Mm-hmm. So maybe we can do kind of a classic Littlefinger move here, where we're pitting Rock on Ninja against iStock and iStock against Rock on Ninja.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, let them go at each other's throats, not really worry about us, and then later on, we can just clean up the pieces, whatever remains.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Besides, we can't really do all that much right now anyways, so...
No, we're a little light on stuff.
Well, that's what happens when you get all your creatures taken away. What can you say?
Yep.
You know what? There's actually something to be said here. If Rock on Ninja just has a way to get rid of the Royal Elemental, at least we're going to get all our stuff back.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's see how many things iStock attacks with. At the very least, we're going to have our Daneth the Capuchin back. Again, if they destroy the Royal Elemental.
Yeah.
So I actually feel kind of okay in this position, just because, Rock on Ninja only has 2 cards in hand compared to iStock with 3, and the Epic Panda has 6, but again, they're not really playing all that much, and that's probably part of it. We draw into a suspicious bookcase.
Ooh.
This isn't too bad. I feel like it's just like a blocker.
It's a good blocker, and later on it could be useful to make Evra unblockable, but...
I just say let's play it. It's the only thing we can play besides Ethereal Armor and Orim's Chant.
Yeah.
Because of that aura of silence out there.
Yep.
So, it does come into play tapped, unfortunately. But what can you do, right? What
Thanks,
can you
Thalia.
do? Thanks to Royal Elemental. What are you talking about? This would have not happened if there were no Royal Elemental.
Okay, that's fair.
So we've got 1 mana held up. I guess our opponents could be thinking of this being like a Swords to Plowshares or a Path to Exile. But if I were an opponent, I would have assumed, you know, in this position, I would have already played it targeting the Royal Elemental if I needed to. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's... Right now, there's not really any bigger threats to the board states than Royal Elemental.
Yeah, it looks like Rock on Ninja doesn't really have anything to deal with it, though, because they actually go here for the Burnished Heart instead.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually makes... Wow, this actually makes the Rock Slide Elemental bigger.
Huh.
You know
it's any creature.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not just creatures they own. Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense for a Sek'kuar deck now that I think about it.
But it's also kind of weird because this is with +1/+1 counters, right? We saw already the Jiang Yanggu, which is with +1/+1 counters. Vivian doesn't really care about +1/+1 counters, but it cares about creatures. Maybe this is a +1/+1 counter base deck?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's... Is there anything better for Jund +1/+1 counters? Oh, there is. There is. If you use Rayhan, and let's say like either Vile Smasher or something else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'd have a good +1/+1 general there.
Wow, Wild Pair.
You don't see this all that often. I just feel like it's so hard to build a deck with this.
Wow, that's gonna do some work with their deck, I think.
You know what? I actually could see this in a True Lane deck, believe it or not, because you can return whatever card you want to your hand and use that to tutor. So I could see it in that deck. I would love. You know what I would love to do?
Oh, I think they're gonna make. Oh, okay. I was worried they were gonna make another Royal Elemental.
I think they will be. The Aura of Silence is going to get rid of the Wild Pair here.
Okay.
So before it actually enters the battlefield.
Right.
Yeah. So
sorry to cut you off, but I was like, oh no.
No, it's actually that's exactly the right thing that's happening here. Looks like instead they're just going to draw 2 cards by copying the Elvish Visionary.
Huh.
I guess that's fine. If they're only down to 3 cards in the hand, they want to have more card draw. Actually, they were at 2 cards before, so...
I guess that's true.
Yeah. And now, we can actually cast our 5-drops in the hand. So, next turn, Tameo's Journal, what do you think?
Yeah, that seems about right, because then we don't have to worry about Aura of Silence anymore.
We can actually cast it down.
Yeah.
We really are hoping that somebody's got a board wipe.
Yeah.
We can...
It would be great.
Ooh.
Well, what?
Everything's attacking us, yeah. We have no blockers.
That's not good.
Yeah. Mono white, pretty scary. We'll give him a little winky face. I like doing this because people hate making other opponents feel good, and if we give them the impression that we are feeling good by being attacked with a bunch of creatures here, then they might not want to do this again in the future. They do put us down to 8,
Maybe.
so
yeah, there's not much future for us at this point based on that. So we'll see. It is kind of funny that they decided to just like full swing at us when there were so many better options out there.
I mean, at the very least, the Epic Panda is playing Jund. You know, that's at least 2 more colors than we're playing, and people tend to think of white as being the worst color anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
They could have also just not cast anything and just gone for an attack at Rock on Ninja.
Oh yeah, and that might have actually put them in the same spot we are now. So,
They said that they can't attack through the propaganda just yet, and I said, sure you can. You just pay mana. Simple.
Also, and it's interesting because by that statement, can't attack through propaganda just yet, they have completely written off the Epic Panda already.
Yeah, that is true.
That player is not there to them.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
It's a bit weird.
So can the Epic Panda cast their commander now, or do they not really want to since there's that Royal Elemental still out there?
I think they can, but I don't know if they would want to.
So I think we're kind of stuck. We've got to use the Orum's Chant at Istock's upkeep.
Yeah, I agree.
So can we get down the Spear of Heliod this turn? It's really the only other thing we can cast.
Yeah, I think that's probably not a bad idea. Get the spear out so we can use it later.
Actually, check this out. We can move the Gorgon Flail onto the Suspicious Bookcase. So if they're not going to be using the Royal Elemental for anything, at least we have a blocker.
Yeah, we have a 1/5 with Death Touch. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to yield until Istock's upkeep.
Okay.
So that's going to allow us to play that Orum's Chant. I'm hoping nothing happens between now and then that would stop us from doing that. For example, Rock on Ninja could get down like a Grand Abolisher or something along those lines.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they are playing white, right? So it's entirely possible, but...
I don't know if Grand Abolisher works for every opponent. But I'm sure there's a card like that.
I feel like it does.
Like, does it say that players can only cast things at sorcery speed, or does it only stop players from casting things on your turn?
It's just during your turn.
Okay,
During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. So it's only your turn.
Okay, so either way, if they have an effect that can stop us being able to cast the Orum's Chant on Istock's turn, we're probably going to be dead, but otherwise, we at least have something to do right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what Rock on Ninja has after this, because they just made 2 tokens off of casting this Phyrexian Arena. Now I'm thinking, what players have answers? Now, Istock could very easily have Bane of Progress. Same thing with the Epic Panda. They could both be having that type of card. We could have in our deck... do we have Hour of Revelation?
No, I don't... Wait, hang on.
Or do we have Austere Command? Do we have either one of those two? Because those would be answers. We can actually use Austere Command to get rid of all enchantments. And then I guess at least the angels.
Give me a minute. I have to double check.
Okay, alright. Alright, 1,000-year elixir coming down. This actually could be pretty bad for us. They're going to just tap out here for the 2 mana. And then we're going to yield. Let's do this. Yield until my opponent's upkeep. So at the upkeep, we're going to go for the Orum's Chant. And hopefully... Rock on Ninja said they just want to flip the Galleon. So we're going to say Istock is the one who can't cast spells this turn. Just to make it a little bit more likely that they're not going to do a whole bunch. And so in a way also, we kind of say, here you go. Now you got plenty of mana to attack with that propaganda.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
You have plenty of mana to... Oh, well, actually, they can't attack from Orum's Chant.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I was hoping that they could attack somewhere else, but they can't attack at all, so...
Yeah. We don't have a Stair Command. I think I kept it out for cost reasons.
Okay, well, it is what it is. Royal Elemental here, probably going to take the 2 angels. I don't think they're really that afraid of our Suspicious Bookcase, although it is quite suspicious.
It is very suspicious.
Rock on Ninja says, wait, man, you suck. Just let me flip it. They're just trying to flip their Conqueror's Galley, but our Thalia is shutting them down. See, what they could do is cast their commander, untap it with 1,000-year elixir, and then use that to crew the Conqueror's Galleon. Does it have enough mana or power, though? That's the big question. Just 1 away. 1 power away. Yeah. Well, maybe Rock on Ninja will eventually draw into a board wipe, or at least something to deal with the Royal Elemental. I have a feeling, though, even after they do that, they're, after taking out Istock, they're probably going to go after us, and we're just not going to have an easy time getting out a way to deal with that.
No, I agree. I don't think we're going to have that easy of a time.
Now, here's the question. What do you think is more likely? Do you think spot removal will remove the Royal Elemental, and so we'll get whatever creatures we play out between now and then? Or do you think a board wipe is going to happen, so we don't want to be playing creatures out, even though we know that they're going to get taken with the Royal Elemental?
I feel like a board wipe might happen sooner more than anything.
I feel like if you don't have a board wipe, right? I mean, if you have just the spot removal, then you're giving Rock on Ninja, what is this, 20 power?
Yeah, I think it needs to be a board wipe. Otherwise, we're in some serious trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that you draw into something good soon. What do we got in here? Banishing Light is too spotty.
Okay, so they're using the Bramble Crush on the Vivid Grove of all cards.
Okay.
Yeah. Not on the Sigil or on the Propaganda.
That's
Oh, because of the Karmic Justice. They don't want to trigger that. That's what it is.
Let's see here.
Actually, does Karmic Justice? Yeah, that would die if something happens to their enchantments. Then Karmic Justice will trigger a lot of times.
Yeah, it would basically be a board wipe, I think.
Okay, so now the worst thing that could have happened has happened. We draw a land. So playing that land is fine and all, but now the question is, do we play out Evra or do we not play out Evra?
Oh, that's a tough one. I feel like
getting out a creature doesn't really matter for blockers reasons.
Yeah, I feel like we should leave it. I don't think we should put Evra out yet. Because it just kind of makes us the target. Not that we haven't already been taken down to 8.
Yeah. I just don't see... So, if iStock decides to attack us with a lot of things, we're dead. There's nothing that we can do to stop that.
Yeah, regardless of having Evra out or not, it's nothing we could do to stop it, really.
So, let's say this. If we're going to live, if they're not killing us this turn, what's going to be the most helpful for us to have? Probably the Tamiyo's Journal, right? More than the Dictate of Erebos... Or, sorry, Dictate of Heliod, the Ethereal Armor, and the Spear of Heliod, right? I feel like Tamiyo's Journal makes the most sense.
Yeah, like the Spear doesn't really help us too much. The Dictate is great, but it's not going to save us. I think Tamiyo's Journal getting us that extra card draw.
It's at least going to be helpful in one direction.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Friction Arena makes Rock on Ninja lose 1 life, so it's a 37 turn clock.
Yep.
Just got to wait for them to tick down. All right, let's see if iStock decides to say, you know what? Let me just say this. iStock, if you kill me, you lose creatures. So maybe that'll be enough for them to say, you know what? Actually, I want to take out Rock on Ninja first. Or at least put everybody down to an equally low life total.
Yeah, Rock on Ninja's already like, I can't play anything.
And iStock technically says that we're right. Yeah. We'll say same.
Yeah.
See, if we had if we were able to play that Spear of Heliod earlier, we could have taken out the Whirl Elemental a lot earlier. Dictate of Erebos means that now these creatures, if they can die, if these creatures die, at least that we can start getting rid of some of the creatures out on iStock's board. They have currently a bunch of 1/1s that we're not really worried about that.
Yeah.
Rock on Ninja says that they messed something up though. I guess maybe they just tapped for something wrong. Yeah, maybe. That's what it looks like. It looks like they tapped for something incorrectly.
That's unfortunate.
I don't know what they could have tapped for incorrectly though, because they do have the Mystic Gate untapped. They had that before, so they don't have double black anywhere, so they can't really be upset about not having enough black.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they had a legendary creature they wanted to untap with Minamo.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe that's what they were trying to go for? I don't know. It's just a little bit strange here. Alright, retreat to Coral Helm. Now they can start untapping creatures or scrying, whichever one they feel like. But the fact that they're playing things here makes me think they are not going to be taking out Rock on Ninja first. Also, they do have the most creatures from them.
Yeah, and now a Risen Reef. Great.
Maybe, you know what? Actually, if I were in iStock's position, I want to have as many creatures as possible for as long as possible. So what about attacking over at the Epic Panda? Getting rid of them, not having to worry about them. You don't lose any creatures from them because the only creature that they had was a 3/3. That's nothing compared to what we gave them.
Yeah, exactly.
Whirl Elemental, Retreat to Coral Helm, and Jungle Hollow going to trigger a bunch of times. They're going to go up to 49, and they're still deciding what to choose. If they want to untap things, they could even untap. Okay, they're going to Is it tap or untap? Yeah, they can tap down. Yeah, they're tapping down our suspicious bookcase. I feel like that's telling us.
It's not that suspicious.
I feel like that's a suspicious move, and now I've got a suspicious feeling that they are going to be attacking us suspiciously. They're going to go ahead and also scry one off of the other card draw trigger from the Retreat to Coral Helm.
Yeah, I'm also very suspicious about what they're going to do.
I just want to retreat to Coral Helm at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we had that one-drop removal, using it now on the Royal Elemental would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's done so much work for iStock.
Okay, well, I think this was still a good game regardless. Our beginning of the game, we had a very promising start.
Whoa. It's not over yet.
I know, it's not over till the fat lady sings.
Defeat.
I know.
Okay, maybe admit it now.
I think it is. Yeah,
they're stealing our tapped creature. You just tapped it.
They technically could have had it, given it haste somehow, and then used it.
Oh, now they're untapping it.
Oh no. If only we had the mana, we could tap it in response.
Oh, we should totally have done that.
That'd have been hilarious.
Hilarious.
Alright, well, Royal Elemental takes it away.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Do they decide to attack at least a few things over at Rock on Ninja and then send the rest of the stuff at the Epic Panda?
Oh, here we go. What are you destroying?
Probably going to be the Propaganda.
Sage.
Propaganda, I have a feeling.
Probably.
At least the first one, so the top one should be, they did it right. They did it right. They did the bottom one on Propaganda, the top one on Karmic Justice.
Yeah.
But now the Karmic Justice is going to get rid of the Royal Elemental.
Probably.
Yeah.
No.
Non-creature. Yeah. Non-creature.
Yeah, but you get to destroy target permanent of the opponent. So yeah, it will definitely be Royal Elemental.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's no. It's like it's weird because it's usually if it's a non-creature for the first part, it's gonna be a non-creature for the second. But in this case, it's non-creature of yours, anything of theirs. Essentially.
Yeah. You destroy my land, I'll destroy your creature.
Basically, yeah. In this case. So now we get our stuff back.
I love this chat, by the way. Have you seen this chat? Rock on Ninja says, that was a mistake. Want to see why? And Icelock responds with like, sure, educate me. And then they go, as long as you control X. I guess I should read the F card.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's great. That's great. Well, now they got a bunch of angels.
And we got all of our stuff back.
Not bad.
So this is actually kind of okay for us.
We've got some first strike creatures, one that has lifelink. We've also got the suspicious bookcase that can block, and it's got death touch.
Yep. So, and all of our opponent's creatures now come into the battlefield tapped, as well as their non-basic lands again. Yeah.
But we're still afraid of those angels. I really think we're gonna survive now an extra round, but that's all we get. We don't get a lot more than that.
No, it's iStock is I mean, like, pretty much everyone has already written off to Epic Panda, which could actually mean that they'll win the game overall.
I've seen that happen many times.
If you don't make yourself a threat and you just everyone just ignores you, it's a good chance you'll win.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself.
No, iStock's just asking for it now. Guess we see if I just die on the backswing.
I mean, they do have, what is this, 7 angels, so that's 28 damage. That's about half from iStock.
Yeah.
So, if I were a Rock on Ninja, I might say, okay, one person's really low, let's take them out first, so we don't have to worry about them anymore.
It's possible. Or they could just ignore it. I'm
hoping they ignore us. We're going to try our very best to, not die. If there's something that we can do to make sure that we don't die to these angels, I'm going to 100% do that.
Yeah, but, if you draw into Winds of Wrath, go for it.
Yes.
I mean, it basically is a complete board wipe because we have nothing that's enchanted, but, I mean, it saves us.
Yeah. I mean, if we draw into that, we can play the Ethereal Armor and keep one card that we'd like.
Yeah, true.
Which I guess probably going to be the Danitha, because it has lifelink and vigilance, so we can keep attacking with it while still having it as a blocker.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay, we draw into a Banishing Light.
Ooh.
This is a tough one, because can we actually do anything with this?
Yes and no. We could get rid of any of Rock-On Ninja's enchantments, but it really wouldn't do us any good.
Yeah, I mean, I say, you know what, let me just hold that. I'm just going to hold that for a little while.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to cast Dictate of Heliod, so I'm just going to crack the clue. I'll start off with that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Crack the clue, and then we'll see what we've got. We draw into a Marble Diamond. That's good. We could technically get that down. Ethereal Armor can give +1. The Gorgon Flail can give +1. We can get Danith the Capuchin up to a 4/4 first strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, Death Touch.
Okay, that seems pretty good.
Yeah. But who do we attack? Even I don't even know. Or do we go for Spear of Heliod and Ethereal Armor, and that way Danith the Capuchin's a 5/5. And then we can attack over at Rock-On Ninja. If they don't block, at least we gain 5 life. If they do block, they're going to block with either 1 or 2 angels, triggering the Dictate of Erebos, meaning that people are going to be sacrificing some creatures. I actually feel like this is okay here.
Okay.
Or do we go for the Banishing Light, targeting the Dictate of Erebos? Thinking.
I feel like the Dictate of Erebos is probably the best target for it, just because we don't really want to be sacrificing our creatures, but at the same time, we really want Icestock to be sacrificing his or theirs.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one. I almost feel like we should have just hold back a turn, but
do you think
incoming disc from Mono White Icestock says?
No, we don't have that, because that's not in our hand, and that wouldn't even help us here, because there's too many angels on the board that could kill us as a result. I just say we've got to try to gain some life, and currently Ethereal Armor could be +2 if we have the Spear of Heliod. So, it's not that great.
No,
but it's better than nothing.
It's something we can do.
Yeah, and I feel like, if anything, at least we can attack Icestock with Danitha, and that should hopefully mean that Rock-On Ninja isn't going to be afraid of us. They're seeing us as being on their team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping, at least.
Hey, he thinks it's a cool card, so that's good.
All right, cool.
I don't know if he's talking about Voltaic Key and Disc, but what else?
Maybe they're offended from Icestock saying that there's an incoming disc, and they're like, "Hey, that's a cool card. Don't you be dissing the disc." Let's go ahead and attack Icestock. We've got First Strike as a 5/5. Can they kill us if we block this way? They block with the Yarok, we kill that. Let's say they block with everything else. They could... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they could kill it. But
I'd say it's worth the risk.
Yeah, I think so too. I say let's go for it. If I were them, I wouldn't block with a bunch of things. I'd probably just block with one thing. Or just take the damage. I mean, either way.
Yeah, it's only... Alright, they're going to chump it.
Yeah, looks like that's what's happening. Well, we're just doing it more for the life gain, I would say.
Yeah.
And now the Rock Slide Elemental gets a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Rock-On Ninja can decide: do they want to kill us? Do they want us? Do they want us alive? If they attack with all those angels at Icestock, that's only halfway there, and Icestock is probably still the biggest threat at the table.
Yeah, I feel like Rock-On Ninja will be smart enough to attack Icestock.
Yeah, smart enough with air quotes, or smart enough as in smart enough?
No, I feel like smart enough as in smart enough.
Okay. They're attacking with that 210. I have a feeling they're going to attack over at the Epic Panda. They can't actually kill. Yeah, they can't actually kill it by blocking with that 5/5. Compared to the other two of us, we definitely could. And it looks like they're sending angels over at Icestock's way, so we're pretty happy here.
Perfect.
They're going to leave up 2 angel blockers to try to not die out of nowhere.
I mean, it's smart, right? Like, make sure you don't die.
Mm-hmm. What do you think we should do next turn? I like the Dictate of Heliod idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
If we have that extra mana, we can actually go for that and for moving over the Gorgon's Flail onto Danitha, and that would allow us to gain 8 life per swing. So that would put us back up to 21, which is over halfway there, back to our starting life total, which would make me feel a lot more comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, agreed. I feel like that might be the best way to go about it.
All right, Sun Titan's going to hit the battlefield. This is going to allow them to get back something. They're going to get back the Karmic Justice. But now, when the Sun Titan, attacks next turn, they're going to get back that Propaganda again. So, yeah. I have a feeling this is going to be the best time to go for that Banishing Light on the Sun Titan. What do you think about that?
I think that's probably the best way to go about it.
Yeah. We could technically hold up the Spear of Heliod. Ooh, Zulaport Cutthroat.
That's true, we could.
We hold up that so that if somebody attacks us, we can actually get rid of the creature that dealt the damage to us. I like that. It might actually convince our opponents to not attack us too. Not that likely, but it could happen.
Yeah, it's we'll have to wait and see. I feel like this is a very this is a touchy game because it's going back and forth, and with all these enchantments we have to worry about, and the fact that it's so. The Epic Panda is giving me that really remember the episode of The Simpsons where the Yakuza show up and it's just that one guy that's just not doing anything, and Homer's like, as soon as I turn my back, he's gonna do something and it's gonna be really cool. That's what I feel like the Epic Panda is doing. They're just sitting there and being like, wait for it, and then
that's pretty funny.
But Marge, that little guy hasn't done anything yet. Look at him. He's going to do something, and you know it's going to be good.
But I do feel like that's going to totally happen here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, they're just biding their time until Rock on Ninja or iStock kill each other. And then it's like, all right, now I get to have fun. And whatever crazy shenanigans they're planning.
All right, so we're actually seeing the Spring Bloom Druid being used. This is kind of interesting for me because they could have been using the Retreat to Coral Helm to tap down our creatures as well, since the Scry doesn't matter completely with the Spring Bloom Druid's ability on the stack. So they could have, blocked, took down our Danitha Capuchin for our life gain, our Suspicious Bookcase for the Death Touch, and then we'd only have had the Thalia untapped. And then they could have gone for a bunch of Scries here. So I guess they're probably not going to be even attacking us right now. They don't really...
No, I don't think they think we're a threat, which is perfect. I'm okay with that.
That's where we want to be. They are going to tap down our Danitha. They don't want us to gain any life. Well,
yeah,
it's a bit rough, but hopefully it could be okay in the long run. We do right now have that Thalia out there, which can first strike something for 4 damage. So with the exception of their commander Yarok, we are actually okay. I think if they did attack us with the Yarok, we would block with the Suspicious Bookcase to trade. Yeah. Just because, the Suspicious Bookcase is fine. What do you think?
I think that's probably good. I mean, a 2/6 blocker with Death Touch, it seems like something they wouldn't want to actually swing in with or swing in against. So Rock on Ninja getting a 3/5, so that's good. So
now iStock's going to go back up to 36. So second highest life total here.
Yep.
All right, so what do you think about our next turn? We've got 6 mana again in the hand, Dictate of Heliod, Banishing Light, and Marble Diamond.
So I think probably Marble Diamond needs to come out soon.
I agree, because we want to have that mana.
Yeah. And then just the fact that it enters tapped kind of slows it down a little bit. And then probably the Dictate, or I want to get Evra out, but at the same time, I know I'd rather have Rock on Ninja and iStock kind of lower each other before that happens, because then they'll start realizing we're a threat. So what is happening?
Flesh and Blood. Exile target creature from a graveyard. Put X +++ encounters on target creature, where X is the power of the card you exiled. And they're choosing to put the counters onto Genesis, it looks like. Let me take a look at the game log so I can see what's happening.
Yeah, so they're exiting. They targeted Royal Elemental, Genesis, and Yarok the Desecrated.
Oh, there's a fuse card. Let me take a look at that card now that it's in the graveyard. So, okay, the blood is a way for them to fight something. So it looks like they're gonna put counters on the Genesis, and then have Genesis fight Yarok.
Yeah.
Or not fight, because it's only one directional.
But I thought they played. Oh, did they just play blood?
No, they played both, but it got countered by, I think, Icestock, who played a negate.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
All right, we drew into a plains. That's going to be the card I want to play down. I'd like to use the Banishing Light on the Sun Titan, but now that I think about it, it might actually be more helpful for us to use Banishing Light on the Propaganda.
Oh, so that Icestock can attack more?
Well, specifically so that if Rock on Ninja decides to attack us, we're actually going to be okay. So I feel like I'm going to hold that Banishing Light for that Propaganda. We're going to wait for that to be the issue. And maybe even Icestock will have an answer, because they do have one card in hand. They'll have a lot of Scry with the Retreat the Coral Helm. So let me see. We've got 7 mana. Dictate of Heliod doesn't sound too bad. I also really want to move that Gorgon Flail onto Daneth the Capuchin. And I'd like to draw a card with a clue. Let's just do this. I feel like I want to move the Gorgon's Flail and cast Dictate of Heliod.
Oh, just as an FYI, Propaganda is already in the graveyard.
It is in the graveyard, and so Sun Titan can get it back out. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So it's going to come back out from Sun Titan. Instead of getting rid of Sun Titan now with the Banishing Light, I think it's better to get rid of the Propaganda later on.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense. Prevent it from coming back.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes back and Icestock has an answer, then there's an additional value there that we didn't actually have to get rid of it ourselves. So what do you think about the Dictate of Heliod idea?
I think it's probably a good idea. It gives us a little bit more fighting power, and the fact that it gives us that the extra defense as well. I mean, it means that people are less likely to attack in because our stuff is going to get significantly bigger.
I'm actually going to wait to play this once people have decided their blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and begin combat now.
Okay. And
we've got a 6/6 that has lifelink. No blockers from Rock on Ninja, but again, they can kill us here because we'd only be going up to 21. They could have, let's see, they have to have at least 7 angels, and we know that they have that. So it's not a good idea to attack Rock on Ninja. I still think I'm going to attack Icestock.
Okay.
And if they decide to block with a few of their creatures, again, they can chump, but more so we're using this for the life gain. That's really the game plan here. They're going to block with a 1/1, and now that we know how they're blocking, we're going to go for the Dictate of Heliod, just so we can gain an additional 2 life, make our creatures a little bit bigger.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to gain 9, go up to 22, actually. I think that I forgot that the Dictate would actually make the Ethereal Armor give an additional buff. So now up to 22. So again, they would need to have at least, let's see, that's 6. So they could swing 6 flying angels at us, and then we wouldn't be in the game any longer. Yeah. I'm hoping they don't do that.
No, I think they realize that Icestock is still more of a threat than us. I mean, having a 9/9 Death Touch, First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelinker is not exactly not scary, but I think it's taken us this long to get to this point, whereas Icestock has been just kind of explosive.
Yes. And they are playing Sultai.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see where this 6/6 decides to go. Gonna go over at Icestock. This is for sure gonna get back. Oh, look at this. So they are sending a good number of angels our way.
Yeah.
So nothing we can do about that. And there was nothing we could have done about it anyways. I mean, if we had played the Banishing Light on one of the angels, they would have just attacked all the angels at us to take us out.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's game. I don't think there's anything else we can do about that unless an opponent saves us here. But really, why would they?
If somebody board wipes, like, Epic Panda, but I mean, there's no point for them because they're not being attacked.
Mm-hmm. I could have attacked Rock on Ninja for 15 last turn, and I didn't do that. Let me just double check. There's nothing I can block with. Yep, nothing there.
Nope.
All right, so we're gonna go down to -2. We kind of scraped our way back in the game, but it looks like it didn't matter for anything. We're dead here.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and give them a good game.
Yep. GG.
Yeah. All right, so Rock on Ninja, they're in the game now. We've got iStock and the Epic Panda still available to kill. They did not actually get back the Propaganda, unfortunately. They actually chose to get back the Burnished Heart, which is, to me, a big surprise.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird.
They've got
especially considering like iStock seems to be able to get their stuff, and like they could probably become a real big threat again.
Yeah, I mean, you've got stuff in green that can, do recursion. You've got things in black that can put them straight onto the battlefield, too, on top of that. So, I'm surprised that Rock on Ninja is not pointing more of their arrows, I guess you could say, at iStock. We'll see if it pays off for them or if they're going to get punished for that.
Yeah, it seems a bit weird, but yeah, we'll find out soon.
They're going to go ahead and start sacrificing. They sacrificed first the Burnished Heart, so now each opponent has to sacrifice a creature. They sacrificed here, let me see what they did sacrifice. They sacrificed a Wood Elves, and then the Epic Panda, I have a feeling is going to sacrifice the 4/4 Genesis. Yep, looks like that's what it's going to be. It's going to make the Rock Slide Elemental into a 10/10, but the Zulaport Cutthroat is going to make some opponents lose some life too, so... yeah, I mean, getting hit for that much damage from the iStock early on is what really made us lose here. So, who knew Propaganda could cause you to lose?
I know, right?
It's a very big surprise to me. But now they've got that Ertai out. They actually can't activate it right away because they have that 1,000-year elixir, which is another card I don't see all that often. But it's not too bad. I do have it in one of my decks, in the Karn deck again. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. But honestly, this game we didn't really get to see the full power of Evra, but we got to have a taste of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I mean, you can see that it can be dangerous, but it just, in this case, it didn't hit its stride properly.
Yeah, you can definitely say we got a witness for for what it can do. We didn't get a chance to play out the commander just because there was no point at which that was a good move. We really, once we were knocked down to 8, we were kind of having to do the best turn every turn, and that really hurt us in the long run. All right, so they're going to use that Retreat to Coral Helm to tap down the Ertai, which means that they don't have to worry about the counterspell anymore. So that might have even been a reason to use Ertai to counter the Yavimaya Dryad, while that still looks like not a very good counter target. Let's see what else happens here. They could use Retreat, tap down the last 2 creatures, and then attack for, what is that, 6, 7 damage. So putting Rock on Ninja to 25. I guess that's not that low.
No, but yeah, and it's not like they can block any of the flyers afterwards. So, yeah, maybe I don't know whether they'll even. Yeah,
this is a tough one. So I feel like Rock on Ninja is in the best position to win the game if nobody else does anything. But more often than not, when you've got an opponent that's got just 2 cards in hand, you got one that has 0, and then the last opponent has 4 cards in hand. Usually it's kind of skewed to the person with the 4 cards in hand. But the Epic Panda hasn't been doing a whole lot, so it might actually just be... Ooh, check this out. So the 1,000-year elixir is going to untap Ertai. That's going to counter the displace that would trigger on the Reclamation Sage and the Risen Reef. Interesting.
Yeah.
And we know iStock has no responses because they have no cards in hand.
Yeah, and none of their other cards have abilities that can stop it. So,
So it looks like they're going to counter the spell. That does create a few death triggers. That Rock Slide Elemental is being very thankful to Ertai.
Yep.
Actually, no, it's not. It's about to die. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It does trigger for the other creature that died at the same time. Zulaport Cutthroat is going to put them down to 30 and 38 respectively. Yeah, I don't know. This is one of those games. At this point, we're not really invested in the game anymore. But it is kind of interesting to see who wins the game after we have died. For a mono white deck, it's kind of surprising that we died first.
Yeah, a little bit.
It might be one of those commanders where Evra, even though she's not very overplayed, opposing commanders or opposing planeswalkers, or rather, opposing opponents.
Yeah.
Losing my words here. Opposing opponents can't actually allow us to not do a whole lot, not try to take care of us early on.
Yeah, it could easily be that they've seen whatever it can do, and they're just like, nope.
Yeah, just get rid of it as quickly as I can. Genesis is an interesting card here because they can now start returning cards from their graveyard to their hand. They're going to use the first ability on the Rockslide Elemental if they decide to even pay the mana. They decided not to. They're going to leave it in the graveyard. Let's see what they decide to do with their 8 mana instead. If they had something like an Insurrection, that would allow them to win. Instead, they've got a Garruk Wildspeaker, so another ramping up Garruk. Probably going to be used to untap lands. I don't see it being used for the Beast token because that's just going to die from the Dictative Erebos anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess... should we have done something different on our last turn to allow us to have survived?
I don't know if there was anything that we could have done.
We had the Banishing Light in hand. Again, if we had used that on one of the Angels, they would have just attacked us with the remaining Angels. So there's not much that we could have done.
And I mean, realistically, if we used it on anything of Rock on Ninjas, they would have just attacked us with all the Angels anyway. It really wouldn't have changed anything from that side of things. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it just... I keep trying to think, like, did I do everything right? Did I make everything the right decision? I gained as much life as I possibly could have.
Yeah,
like,
I think you did what you needed to do, and I don't know if there was anything you could have done that actually would have changed the outcome of it for us. I think it's just we were in such a bad board state from the previous attack, and like iStock attacking us for some reason when we were definitely not the threat. It just kind of all worked out against us, I think.
I think so too. It was just the way the dice happened to land. We just weren't in a favorable position.
Yep. And iStock's gone. What just happened?
I don't know, but maybe they're saying, yeah, there's no way I can get back from this. I've got no cards in hand. Rock on Ninja wins the match as the Epic Panda also decides that they've got nothing to do. Kind of an abrupt ending there, but ultimately, it's not that different than what we expected. What do you think?
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. I'm a little bit surprised by it, but at the same time, like, I get why they were leaving because it's an uphill battle. Yeah, it's getting a little out of hand.
Yeah,
But
I think it was a fun game. What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, so I had a lot of fun. I hope the audience did as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in either the next episode of GAVONY Township or in the other video. Again, down in the comments, you'll see the pinned comment has a link to Brett playing my Atali deck. So I'll see you there.